What's going on, guys? Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Seattle Seahawks beat the Detroit Lions in overtime 37-31 as Tyler Locket had a 6-yard touchdown pass for the win to beat the Detroit Lions 37-31. Jared Goff threw an interception, which was a pick six in this ball game. A Trey Brown interception. It ended Jared Goff's interception streak. Like it was like a certain amount of passes, or it was a certain amount of games that Jared Goff went through without throwing an interception. I don't know the exact number, but Jared Goff, that streak ended, and it ended when Goff threw a 40-yard interception to Trey Brown, and then that made it 31-21. The Lions would come back from the 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter with a touchdown pass from Jared Goff and a field goal by Riley Patterson, and it would start to feel good for the Lions as they'd be, they would, come back to send this game to overtime, but Tyler Locket and the Seahawks go down the field on their first drive in overtime to score a touchdown. Tyler Locket had a really good day for the Seattle Seahawks. He had 2 touchdown receptions, and DK got hurt in this ball game, but he looked good as well for Seattle. And he came back from injury, but Kenneth Walker also looked really good for the Seahawks. And let's go over this game. So there was a score in every quarter. First quarter, he had 2 scores. Kenneth Walker, 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good at 7-0. Then Jared Goff throws 22-yard touchdown pass to Josh Reynolds at 7-7. Then in the second quarter, Jared Goff throws a 36-yard touchdown pass to Khalif Raymond. And this is a low-scoring ball game going into halftime, 14-7 lead for the Detroit Lions. Then the third quarter, you got a lot of scores in the third quarter. You have a 3-yard touchdown run for Kenneth Walker III. That's his second touchdown of the game, tie ball game at 14. Then a David Montgomery 4-yard touchdown run. He got hurt in this game. He got carted off. It's 21-14. Then Seattle cuts the deficit down to 4 with a 25-yard field goal by Jason Myers. And now we're headed to the fourth quarter. And this is where it gets interesting as you had 4 scores in the fourth quarter. Tyler Lockett 3-yard touchdown pass from Geno Smith. And it is 24-21 with the extra point. Then Jared Goff throws a interception to Trey Brown. It's a 40-yard interception return. It's 31-21. Then Jared Goff throws a touchdown pass to Josh Reynolds, his second touchdown of the day. And then Riley Patterson makes a 38-yard field goal. And we're going to overtime, 31-31. But Geno Smith throws a 6-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Lockett for the win. Game leaders, Geno Smith threw 32 for 41, 328 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, while Jared Goff threw 28 for 35 with 323 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. And then rushing yards, Kenneth Walker III had 17 carries, 43 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns, while David Montgomery, who got hurt, had 16 carries, 67 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. Receiving yards, DK Metcalf had 6 receptions for 75 receiving yards, while Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 receptions for 102 receiving yards. Getting into some other stats, we're going to start with Seattle. Tyler Lockett, very big impact in this game today for the Seahawks. He had 8 receptions for 60 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, while rookie Jackson Smith-Jigba had 5 receptions for 34 receiving yards. Noah Fant had 4 receptions for 56 receiving yards. And then other tight end Will Dissly had a total of 3 receptions for 35 receiving yards. And keep it going with the tight ends. Geno Smith was having a fun time with his tight ends today. 2 receptions and 41 receiving yards from Colby Parkinson. But then the Lions with their offense, Jahmyr Gibbs, he had a tough time today. He was okay receiving, but rushing, only 7 carries for 17 rushing yards. But if David Montgomery is out for a while, I haven't seen anything about his injury. If David Montgomery is out for the next couple games, if not longer, then it's time for Jahmyr Gibbs to step up. But he did have 7 receptions for 39 receiving yards. Josh Reynolds, another great game. He had 80 receiving yards in the opening game against the Chiefs and some great catches against them. And now he has 5 receptions for 66 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. He's been on fire to start the season. I'll tell you guys this right now. If you're in like a 10-man or 12-man league in fantasy, I don't know about an 8-man league, but if you're in fantasy, even if you're in an 8-man league, pick up Josh Reynolds. He has been a dog so far this season and has probably been good in fantasy. 5 receptions, 66 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And then he also had 4 or 5 receptions last week against the Chiefs for 80 receiving yards. He's having a really good season so far. Then Sam Laporte's another rookie for the Lions, had 5 receptions for 63 receiving yards, while Khalif Raymond had 2 receptions for 46 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So that was it for the stats in this ball game. Lions, tough loss. They start off 1-1. The Seahawks get their first win of the season, and so both teams improved to 1-1 after this win for the Seahawks. The Seahawks improved to 1-1, and the Lions fall to 1-1. And this is a game I feel like the Lions should have won, but the Seahawks went into Detroit and played a hell of a game, and definitely, I'm not going to say they deserve to win this game, but which they kind of did because they played some great football, but they definitely went out there and surprised a lot of people, because I think a lot of people thought the Lions were going to win this game, but the Seahawks surprised a lot of people coming into Detroit and getting the win in overtime 37-31. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy them, your thoughts, and peace out.